All right, shifting gears, we're going to turn to employees at meatpacking plants who are telling us that they are worried about their health, but they cannot afford to lose their jobs. An ongoing investigation found there are at least 14,000 coronavirus cases tied to 181 plants in the United States, and at least 54 workers have died. Our consumer investigative correspondent, Anna Werner, spoke to employees who say they are in desperate need of their paychecks, including bonus money, which some are calling hazard pay. Anna, good morning.
Good morning. Advocates say many workers are afraid to speak out, fearing they may jeopardize those paychecks. Those who did told us that even so some improvements have been made, they still are afraid and they don't feel safe inside the plants.
Oh my God, it's very hard for us. Very hard.
Maria didn't want us to show her face or give her last name, but her stress shows through. She works in Grand Island, Nebraska at the JBS meatpacking plant where many workers have fallen ill from coronavirus. On April 28th, one of them died, her close friend, 61-year-old Reynaldo Ramirez.
Very sad for him. He's a good partner, good man. He died.
Ryan Brown works there too.
What is it like for you in your job in terms of the line? How close are you to other people?
We're pretty snug. There are some places where you are literally like shoulder to shoulder with somebody.
Some 3,600 people work at the JBS plant, which processes 1 billion pounds of beef each year. The company says it's doing everything it can to provide a safe working environment. Still, emails we obtained from the regional health department show at the end of March, a local emergency room doctor called the plant a hotspot. Another wrote JBS should shut down for 2 weeks. That never happened. By April 21st, the health department reported more than 230 JBS-related cases. On its website, JBS cites measures taken to protect workers, including temperature checks and face masks, along with increased sanitation and physical distancing. But Brown says sometimes
there's no real feasible way to keep us all 6 feet apart. It's just a lot of people in one space, you know what I mean? It's just very congested.
To limit that congestion, JBS and producers like Tyson Foods are taking other steps. This Tyson video shows improvements, including workstation dividers, on-site medical screenings, and social distancing. Meatpacking companies have also increased pay for workers during the crisis. Tyson announced 2 $500 bonuses in May and July. JBS has raised hourly pay and is giving a $600 bonus to workers who had no more than 2 unexcused absences between April 20th and May 15th. But Mark Perrone, president of the UFCW International Union, which represents many workers, is skeptical.
They want people to come to work, so they're paying them more money. The problem with that is it puts them back inside the plant.
JBS workers who stay home because they fear contracting the virus won't lose their jobs, the company says, but they also will not be paid, which Perrone says leaves many workers with no option but to work because they need their paychecks.
Just because you're an essential worker doesn't necessarily mean you're expendable. And I think that people have started to think about these workers, especially in these packing houses, as being expendable.
But George Washington University expert Melissa Perry says keeping workers safe protects the meatpacking business as well.
I think it's a false dichotomy to frame it as though it's a choice between workers or our meat. That's really not the issue. The issue is it's a choice between ensuring safe protections within meat processing plants so that we can continue to have a steady, reliable supply of meat.
Back at JBS, Ryan Brown is making $4 more per hour now, but says money isn't the answer.
Where you're putting people's families like at risk and like their lives at risk, I don't think that you can put a number on that.
On its website, JBS says it is encouraging sick team members to stay home from work, and it has relaxed its attendance policies. They also pointed out that no one has asked them to close the plant. Local health officials say that's because they couldn't get support from state officials to do that. We reached out to the governor's office, but never heard back, Gail.
Thank you, Anna. I'm struck by Ryan Brown's words. Nobody wants to be snug during this pandemic, and you cannot put a price on your life. Thank you very much.